Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming, hanging out with me. We'll wait a minute and see if somebody other than Mr. Snotty joins us. I feel like we probably need to just kind of go over some of the stuff that's been going on with the Idaho 4. It's kind of it's gotten to a point where I feel a little nervous to even talk about it because there's so many rumors and different things. We don't know what is true, what's going on, but there are some things that have been happening, and it is such a tragic situation. It's just that we just kind of feel like I think we might want to go over some of the stuff. Got a few videos to look at, and so we'll wait and see if anybody shows up to get started on all this. Yeah, it looks like somebody else has joined us. So maybe there'll just be a couple of us in here tonight. I don't know. Oh, hello. Hi, Rosie. You're new. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. That's awesome. Hi, Army Vet. Wow, I haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you. Uh, oh, nice, Rosie. I'm glad to see you. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot really happening. There's a lot, but not a lot with the Idaho. It's kind of I feel like there's just so much that, like I said, I've been a little nervous to talk about it because there's so many rumors and different things. I'm not trying to get into, add to any kind of craziness by any means whatsoever. I'm not trying to spread anything that's not true. But it is such a big thing. It really is. I mean, it's, I constantly refer to this like a horror film. It's just so horrible. So I thought, I don't know what you're talking about though, Army Vet. I gotta say, uh, I mean, I like funny a lot. I love funny. Oh, really? Wow. Oh my. Yeah, I don't understand about that. Well, sorry. I mean, I'm glad you're here, but that's a little odd. Wow. Yeah, you never know. You never can tell about all this stuff. A lot of craziness going on. on these YouTube streets for sure. I'm not sure I get it, and I probably never will. And I'm probably better off for not. I'm a lot better when I don't even know half of what the hell's going on. But yeah, so what we've been doing, what's been happening is, you know, we're hearing from Kaylee's dad, her family in general, but and we're not hearing from the rest of the family, the other families. But I think they probably all feel generally the same way. I would assume. I don't know. It is frustrating because it almost seems like there's just not, even though it does seem like they're probably doing stuff and they know certain things, it seems like maybe they missed something, that maybe they didn't get certain evidence and stuff originally. I don't know. I think that people are just very nervous, and I don't blame them. If I lived in that area, I would be super nervous about that, because that's just really, really, it's a lot. Hey, Top Hats, Frazzled. There you guys are. Nice. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I figured we would start talking about this a little bit. There has been some stuff, and I tend to get a little, as you guys know, I haven't wanted to spread any kind of rumors or anything about this stuff, and it just seems really weird. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play the video of Kaylee's parents talking to, I think it's Lawrence Jones. I believe that's his name. It's kind of, I don't really blame him for it. I don't. Let's see here. Oh, I need to do this. Sorry.
Severe than the other. And this week we heard the target attack walk back and then reverse it back to being a target attack. What can you tell us about the targeted attack?
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said, we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted, or they think the whole house was targeted. But
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
yeah.
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have
may
to go
have
up
been
the
the target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an outfit. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. Wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
Calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in a box, and I can speak on that.
So I think that, that obviously that told us a whole lot. And, there are people wondering why he knows this, how he possibly knows it. I assume they obviously do know things that, how would they not? They have to get some kind of information about their child's um, the condition of the body and stuff. I think they have to. And I know that in some ways it seems like it might hurt the investigation for the families to say things. But I don't know. I can't really tell how I feel about that, because there is another whole part of it that I wonder about. Did they get on top of the evidence immediately? I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe they didn't. I know I saw something that said they were taking tire tracks like 6 days after. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Not to me. I would be upset if it were me. And I think probably what I'm kind of getting out of this is that they're very worried about the reputation of the university. And I understand that, but I think, honestly, if you don't get this person and get them now, you're looking at a lot bigger problem there. Because I know that the family they want to have a reward. They want to put up a reward, but they don't want them to do that. They don't want kids to come and look at the university and see that there's somebody out there. And I get that they have an issue there, but that cannot be the most important thing here. And I think it might be. I think that's, they come out immediately and say that, the city needs the university needs the city. Like they really, it all is based on this university has got to be successful, but not at the hands of people being massacred. That's just not something that I think is okay at all. I don't know that's starting to really bother me, to think that they're more concerned about how the university looks as opposed to finding this person. And again, I just think they're screwing themselves over, because everybody knows about this. Everybody, it's huge. And not arresting somebody, not finding the person who did it, is making it worse for the university. I can't imagine. Whether you have wanted posters up or not, people know about it. So I think it's really it's got to be it has to really not feel good to the family at all, to think that their priorities are not where they should be. And I was thinking, look how every single press conference, even though they don't really tell us anything, we find out that there's always the president of the university is there, and he doesn't have anything to say. Right. No, we have heard that they have DNA. Again, I don't know if they do or not. Absolutely, Rosie. That's what I'm saying. Stop me. They're looking at getting they're talking about getting a private investigator. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't blame them at all. I mean, I am worried that they did not collect the right, collect all the evidence originally in the very beginning. But then again, we know that they had to have left DNA in that house. Now, Kaylee's father feels that people were eliminated or whatever, way too soon. And particularly because they won't tell anyone what's going on. And I will be honest with you, I tried really hard to figure out if for sure food truck Jack is actually in Africa. I don't know how to find it. I cannot find that he actually is there. So I don't know where that's coming from. Apparently it's a post from his mother's Facebook, which I couldn't find. Maybe I'm just not a great sleuth. I don't know, but I can't find where there's any proof to that. If there is, that is definitely questionable. And he was very odd. His behavior was very odd. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but they did seem to take a certain group of people and immediately say that they are not persons of interest at all. I don't blame the parents for saying they believe they did that too soon. Now, another thing that we're hearing is, and again, God, see, I hate to almost talk about it because I don't know, but we are hearing that the dog was not in the crime scene at all. Like as if he was, he didn't walk through it. He didn't have trace blood around or whatever. It appears that maybe he was in Kaylee's room because she wasn't. She was in Maddie's room. So that actually puts to me a bigger look at Jack, Kaylee's boyfriend. Because that was his dog also. And his dog would not have barked at him. And he could have had him put away. So knowing, or I don't know, I don't know. But I think they're also, it sounds like maybe they're taking a lot better look or bigger look at the fraternity. I don't know. I realize they can't say everything, but they need to start saying something because people are just not handling it. And I have to tell you, if that were my child, I wouldn't handle it either. I wouldn't. And I would be getting a private investigator and figuring out what the fuck happened. And before I ever let my kid go back there, whether you put posters up or not, before I would have my child go there to school there, this would have to be handled. You can't just say we think it's, and then, when they say, well, maybe the house was targeted. Well, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None. Targeting a home would mean that you are going there because, they have, high valued items. They have, some kind of artwork that's worth money. They have, jewelry. They have something. That's when a home is targeted. This is not something that they went there for because of the home. So they're not sounding very smart at all with what they're saying. They would be better off to say it's none of your business. We're not telling you. They kept they kept having press conferences and saying nothing. I think they just felt like they were supposed to have press conferences, but I think they probably do have a somewhat of an idea who did it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This is such a crazy deal. And every once in a while, you're just like, okay, this feels like some movement's going to happen, and then nothing. But I cannot blame Kaylee's family. If they end up solving this, then you know what? Great. If somebody needs to. This was horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't know. To me, I don't feel like it is a fraternity. Myself, personally, I don't think it is. I think it is. I think the dad made it pretty clear who the target was. And I don't believe that that would have anything to do with the fraternity. Maybe it is a food truck guy. I don't know. I mean, he's definitely weird. There's a lot of odd things about him. Yeah, I think that it's definitely somebody that people were not concerned about being there. I think my opinion is the person was laying in wait whenever everybody got there, and then obviously it was upstairs, and then right, frazzled. See, I would be very interested to know that too. But you can't let these. You cannot. I know it's a business. I get it. I get that, and they have to be freaking out about what that's going to do to their business. But they have got to understand this right here is not helping them. It's not helping them. But I believe that probably Ethan and Xana heard something, and that's why Ethan was not in the bed, and Xana had, defensive. She had defended herself. So I think that's what I think, that they heard something going on upstairs. Maybe they even yelled up or something. Because obviously the target was upstairs. And it wasn't the house. That is absolutely, when you say that as a chief of police, when you say that, you don't sound very smart at all. This was not a robbery gone bad. It just wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm not an investigator. I don't work for a police department, and I know this. So that was really not a very smart thing to say. That to me sounds like you're just pulling shit straight out of your ass because you have no clue. That's my thinking, but I don't know. There is this really super weird thing that's going on with this timeline with Ethan and Xana. I haven't really understood what to think about it because they go back and forth kind of with this. Actually, they don't go back and forth. The police have never said anything, to my knowledge. I haven't been able to see it. But now I think they are kind of admitting that there is some timeline that they don't understand here. Because they kept acting like everybody got home around 1:45. But I guess nobody really knows where those two were at. And that's awesome if this day and age with CCTV and shit, I think that's awesome if a person was able to do something that nobody knows about. But then again, this is a case we don't want that. I don't know. Did any of you guys hear Xana's mom had called in to, I didn't pull that up. I probably should have, but called in and spoke to Ashley Banfield. And she said, NASA could tell you exactly everything that went on in that house. So why isn't that happening? Can't blame her. Yeah, and yeah, that costs money, but I think money is their concern for behaving the way they are. So what the hell is it? As a country, we piss away a lot of money on nonsense. That much we know. So, yeah, I don't blame her for saying that. But I've got this video not just before, but not too long before I came on which sounds like maybe they're really looking a lot more into this timeline thing that's going on. So I will play this one.
Police asking the public to help them fill in key gaps in the timeline the night that 4 students were stabbed to death as the investigation continues in Moscow, Idaho. Now, part of that timeline includes a party at a fraternity house where investigators believe Xana and Ethan were at some point before they returned home. Senior national correspondent Brian Inton is live in Moscow. And Brian, you spoke with the president of the Sigma Chi fraternity house.
Yeah, Nicole, this was our very first time speaking with the president of that fraternity. You know, they've really been under the microscope because we know 2 of the victims were at that fraternity house a short time before the murders. The president says they are fully cooperating with the police. The flag is at half-staff at the University of Idaho Sigma Chi fraternity house, the last place victims Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin were seen alive, according to police. For the first time, we are hearing from the fraternity's president.
I knew them. Ethan was always in our house. Xana was a good friend before Ethan even came up. But that's all I really want to talk about right now because I actually have class here in like 15 minutes.
Sigma Chi President Reed Offson says the fraternity is cooperating with the investigation. The fraternity is about half a block from the house where the murders happened. Does anyone know where they were during that timeline? Like there's still this big chunk where...
As of right now, we've told Moscow PD, Idaho State Police, and the FBI all we know. We're kind of leaving it up to them to piece it together. Obviously, we don't have the utilities or resources to do it on our own, so we're just putting full faith in officers and in the detectives doing it. But that's all I really know right now.
Are there any cameras around?
Not on the property.
Moscow police say they are investigating the time frame between 9 p.m. the night before the murders on November 12th and 1:45 a.m. when Ethan and Xana were believed to be at the Sigma Chi house. Meanwhile, detectives are not commenting on whether or not they are making significant progress in the case, only saying they have no suspects identified and will not release information at the risk of compromising the investigation. And we have learned that starting tomorrow, police will go into the house behind me, which is still a crime scene, and start removing some of the personal items that belong to the victims. They say they want to return those items to the families. Nicole?
All right, Brian, live there in Moscow. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
So, according to him, the police are now saying they don't know. I haven't actually heard of them. Hi, Alexis. Let's see. No, I have a very bad feeling about that also because and I think they were there when they all got home. I do. But the whole thing is we can't seem to figure out when Ethan and Xana got home. Does that matter? I don't know. But it does seem weird that they don't seem to be able to figure that out. It's just really strange. I just think they are not helping themselves. And this is a thing I've heard, but again, there's so many rumors. I don't know. Are the people, do they have DNA and it just doesn't line up to anybody? Even Nancy Grace said that they can't connect it to anyone. Because surely they should be asking for people's DNA and come clear yourself. It does seem like a lot for one person. It does. But I kind of feel like it was. I mean, I don't know. I guess in my head, I just keep saying, how many people can say, hey, you want to go and do this? Like, I mean, that's kind of a big risk. How many people are like, no, absolutely not. And I don't know. It's so weird because the fact that we don't see any kind of blood outside of the house, something really weird about that to me. That there's no trail of blood. Like they cleaned up before they left. And to be able to do that with other people in the home, they had to have known the home. They absolutely had to have. I don't believe that for a second. That person had been there, was very well familiar with the layout of the home. That to me, I think, is a given. But I have heard that other people who had lived in the basement rooms prior to this said they couldn't hear anything either. They would never hear what was going on up there. But I also think that if we're understanding things, if we're reading between the lines and stuff with the police, that they called friends over before they called 911. That is really weird to me. To be able to see where we can see that blood has dripped down the walls, it had to have been a scene that I cannot believe that you would call friends before you called police. And definitely friends. I mean, I guess maybe, some people call maybe their parents or something, but I mean, I think you would just call 911. That would be the first thing in your head. So it is very weird to me. I don't blame the parents for being upset that people have been cleared very soon. It's not like you're going to go there and just say, oh, that sounds like a good story. And I don't know. It's just so weird. I just think a whole lot of it has to do with the university and that they are really going to try to protect the university at all costs, but they're going about it the wrong way, I think. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? You guys think that this is good for the university to not catch the person? And what do you guys think about the wanted posters? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Yeah, it is. It is. I think you're right, Rosie, for sure. I guess I understand not wanting posters up, but good God. Then again, you don't look good not. You don't think they left DNA. Wow. Well, absolutely. I would be terrified if I were them. Right. Everybody in the whole town should be very afraid, but you're right. Those two should be really afraid. And maybe they do know something that they're not. I don't know. Right. Frazzle. I think that's not a good idea. No, you're right. There's nothing good about this for the university whatsoever. But not solving it to me sounds a whole lot. Yeah, the parents said that the police don't want that. And, their assumption is that when they have kids coming to look at the school, that's not going to look good for them. But an unsolved murder is not going to look good either. Not a murder, a massacre. I mean, yeah, this is definitely shit that movies are made of. It's like a horror film. It's just horrible. It's so sad. And I don't blame the father at all. I don't really want to go too far with this truck guy. Yes, he was a hunter. I think a lot of people in Idaho are. I know they are. That's the big thing there. I don't know how proficient this person was, but I think they were just very motivated. It does seem like an awful lot for one person to pull off, but I kind of feel like it is one person. I don't know. Clearly, I don't know. Hey, Devious, how are you? What do you think about this craziness? It's scary as shit. It is super scary. It has got to have people there terrified. There's no way. According to the parents, they don't. Right. It's how do you not just want, according to the parents, they have been told no about the reward. I would just do it anyway. Right. Because, in my opinion, they had to know because it definitely appears, well, I don't, from the father, it appears that Kaylee was the target. And if that's the case, she didn't live there anymore. That person would have to know that she was, number one, not in her room anymore, and that she was there just for that weekend, and that might be their last chance. Now, Alexis, the reason because Kaylee had already moved out. She only went back that weekend to show her new car she had bought. She was getting ready to graduate and already had a new job and everything else. So, and that was her best friend. So I think, I think some people feel like that's weird, but believe it or not, I'm 54 years old. Whenever I go to my best friend's house, I sleep in bed with her. We still do it today. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, Devious, but the two, there is a former tenant of that house. I think they rented each room. And they said they really could not hear upstairs. They said when they would be able to hear things or whenever all the windows would be open because they would hear through the windows, but they didn't hear stuff up there. And then you kind of think that maybe in their head they thought, oh, they brought people home from the bar, or you know how that could go, like whenever you live with other people. I don't know. My biggest problem with the other roommates is the fact they called friends before 911. That to me is, I don't like that at all. I just do not understand why you'd be like, hey, come check this out or whatever before you would call 911. That's the first damn thing you do. But there were already friends there. And it was the roommate's phone, one of the roommate's phones that called 911, but it wasn't the roommate that made the call. Somebody else. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. I mean, like, yeah, you would call 911 and then, I would immediately then call my husband or my mom or whatever. But you just call 911. Like, this is insanity. I can't imagine that not being. But even the police say that they did not, it was not the roommates, but it was from their phone. And they also said they have cleared the caller, but they won't tell anybody who the caller was. And they're not telling what anybody's alibis are, how they cleared people. You know, just like this food truck guy. How did you clear him so fast? And it does look like Kaylee is taking a picture of him. You know, it's the kind of the way that, like when I'm at the grocery store and I see some yikes stuff going on, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to take a picture so I can send it to my daughters and be like, oh my God, look what I just see here. So I act like I'm taking a picture of something else. Okay, yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm immature like that. I do it. But she did like that. Like it looked like she was taking a picture of something else, and I think she was taking a picture of the food truck guy. Hey, Texas. Oh, how are you? I haven't seen you for a couple days anyway. Yeah, she definitely, it looks like she was trying to take a picture of that guy. So, because apparently he left there pretty much and drove to his parents' cabin 5 hours away. Seems kind of weird after you've been at the bar and shit. I don't know, but hey, I did stupid shit as a kid too. I wouldn't do that now for anything on earth, but um and then you know the people that say that he is in Africa, I can't find any proof of that. I don't know if he is. That's definitely weird. Definitely. That definitely would need to be looked into for, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I actually feel like that is a definite thing. And, you know, to me, I feel like the parents are saying some people were cleared too quickly. Maybe they actually don't mean food truck Jack. You know, there's been talk that maybe they're saying all that and acting like they're really supportive of ex-boyfriend so that he doesn't know they're on to him or something. Right. Yeah, frazzled. I think so too. Well, and you know, on the interview room with Chris McDonough, whatever you, I don't know if I'm saying it right. He says when he and his wife went there, um, there was a light that had just been fixed or you know replaced a bulb or something. But he said a neighbor told him that that had been fixed since the murders, and prior to that, they had oh, hold on one second, guys. One Okay, I am so very sorry, you guys. But Mr. Snotty just got some really amazing news. Totally amazing. I can't go into detail right now, but we are having a huge celebration. We just found out 2 minutes ago. So sorry, I'm very sorry, but we're gonna do a shot really quick.
Details out as soon as we can, folks.
Yep.
Sorry.
We'll tell you as soon as we can.
Cheers, all.
Thanks.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. Something super huge for Mr. Snotty. Super, super huge. So I'm very sorry, but oh, thanks, Mar. Yeah, it's big. It's really big. Kind of having a hard time containing myself right now. Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to Mr. Snotty, for sure. I know I want to tell you really bad. I can't tell you everything though. He has to do a couple of things before we can say it. Whenever we can, it's going to be huge. I just feel bad because I had to stop. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's very good. It's wonderful. It's big. I don't know if any of our kids are in here, but if they are, they will be. His phone's going to be blowing up soon. The kids are in here, but so yeah, to get back to what we're talking about, like I just think they're not helping themselves by doing what they're doing. They first of all, they didn't come out and have a press conference at all initially. That was a big mistake, I believe. And not allowing. Oh, hi, Buffalo Mountain Girl. I've never seen you here before. Welcome. No, not quite, but well, not at all. But still pretty good. Real good. Hello. Very, very nice. See you here. Yeah, I think they're just not helping themselves if they don't just get this person. I think it's kind of weird that Nancy Grace actually said they had DNA that wasn't that they couldn't find a match to. I don't feel like she would say that if she didn't know it. I don't know how she knows it. But I also can't imagine that the guy didn't leave some DNA. How could he not? So now we found out tomorrow they are going to start, as I assume they're going to remove the crime scene tape, I guess. Well, or they're going to take the things out of the house, the personal items for the families. That's what they said. That's what Brian Hinton said in the thing we watched. So I don't know. I guess that doesn't mean they're going to remove the crime scene tape. But I can't imagine. There's no way that there was not some DNA left there. Not with that kind of a horrendous thing. I can't. There's just no way. I can't imagine that. How could you not? That's just crazy. Right. Can you imagine? Yesterday they had a furnace repair person there. That was really weird too. I mean, I don't know. You have to think about the pipes right now. If you just turn a little bit of water on, you can keep it going. I don't know. Yeah, it's super creepy. Yeah, how are you ever going to rent that out? There's a lot more things, and they need to be thinking about as far as if you're concerned about, the university taking a big hit on this, they're going to take a hit, I would imagine, because the big thing about, from a lot of people I've listened to, it was this small town, very safe thing that was very, very appealing for that school. This right here, I don't care, even if you don't put up posters or rewards, this is going to do some damage. By not getting the person is 100% going to make it worse. How could it not? Right. And that's, Texas life. I get it. I really have not even talked about it that much because I'm like, there are so many rumors and stuff. I don't feel comfortable with it. But you just feel like they're not handling it right. So I don't think they're handling it right. Yeah, I would bulldoze the house for sure. I don't know. I guess, they just recently sold the Watts house. Who wants to live there? I don't know. Obviously, I would feel a little creepy about any place like that. It's super strange too. Like Quentin's house in Savannah, it kind of looks like the Amityville whorehouse. Yeah, sometimes it's best to just say, you know what, this is bad juju. Let's just go. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not today's snotty or Satan. I feel that same way, Buffalo Mountain. I do. I actually do. I think that's a very strong possibility. Very strong. To me, that would be somebody you definitely would look at. Yep. And I think, who knows? But these chihuahuas are really gonna get in trouble. Apparently one of the texts that she had sent him, she kept calling him, and she apparently sent a text that said, look, we share a dog together, just answer me, or something like to this effect. Like, it wasn't as amicable as we've kind of been led to believe. You guys stop right now. I know, Rosie, that's crazy. I don't want to live there. It's a beautiful home, but I don't want to live there. Oh my gosh. Well, probably top hats, I guess, but yikes. Not enough paint to cover that shit for me. Yeah, I think he does too. More so, in my opinion, but of course I don't know. I don't know everybody. I don't know this food truck Jack. I don't know. But to me, he has a lot of motive. And he's the one that the dog wouldn't bark at. And you could probably put him away. Because it doesn't appear that this dog walked through the blood. Talk about creepy. Baby Shark just right now went ahead and started talking by itself.
Baby Shark.
Yeah, I think he has a really good case for having motive. It's just so tragic. It makes you sick to your stomach, just the very thought of it. You know, I just try to put myself like, you know, you think of, you know, when that dad says, you know, you send your daughter off to go to school and she comes back in a box. That's, ugh. That's so hard to hear. God, it's so true. It's so, I know. And there have been people, I think I've heard some kind of rumors, people talking about him or whatever. You know, I wouldn't go there with it. Of course not. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. I just, like I said, I keep trying to not even talk about it. I don't want to be part of this nonsense. And yeah, they may not want YouTubers to talk about it, but you know what? Let's be very clear here. And I'm not saying that everybody on YouTube is helping. I don't know. Probably majority of people talking about it on YouTube. I don't even listen to them probably. But not going to stop saying it. It was YouTubers that found Gabby Petito. That's just a straight fact. I did, Alexis. Yeah, he did seem to give it. That's why I'm very curious if maybe I'm curious if maybe they said this in the sense, you know, that the parents have been really supportive of him so that he doesn't think anybody thinks anything. Hi, Justice Jane. Thanks for joining us. Oh, it absolutely is. For them to go anywhere at all. Oh, anything that I remember when my daughter started driving. Oh I was a mess. And I used to tell her, I'm going to call you, and if you answer that phone, you will never get back in that car again. I wouldn't let her drive on the highway. On the freeway. I wouldn't. I said, if I find out you've gone over the speed limit, I'm going to time where you've been. I was so damn scared. One time, her and my son went to see their dad. They drove not on the freeway, another road. And my son said she would not go past 35. And he said at one point, he said, I felt like I was in a damn white Bronco. I was starting to just hang out the window and tell people to go on past because she was not going to. Said, well, good. I'm glad. Because I was going to beat the dog shit out of her and she wasn't going to drive. You just get terrified. The minute they're out on their own, it's scary as crap. I can't imagine how these parents feel. I cannot imagine. It's beyond. You know, they're not my kids, and I just can't hardly handle it. It's just horrible. Thank you. It is. And you know, you figure this is a thing. Like, how many times have you said, okay, you know, text me when you get home? And okay, then everybody feels good. Everybody's home, safe and sound. Here we go. And then that. You know, you think that, especially if they've been out drinking and whatever, just as soon as they get home, you just feel discomfort. a comfort that everybody should feel in their own home. They just should. Obviously, that's not always the case. For sure, we know this. Yeah, I do too. I would feel exactly the same way. And I'm gonna put out I would put out a reward whether they like it or not. You know, you guys want to, you go ahead, you continue worrying about this university. I'm gonna get justice for my daughter. That's a damn fact. And you know, something that mother had said, Kaylee's mother said a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was before Thanksgiving, I know. And it really struck me. And she said she did not want to have a service for Kaylee until they caught the murder because she did not want to end up, she didn't want to later find out that the murder was at the service. Can you imagine? What if he's probably been at all of these services that they've had, so you know, the vigils and whatnot. Who knows? He's probably in everybody's chats. He's probably in, who knows where all he's at. But you know what? If I come to find out that you were at my daughter's actual her service, oh, I get it. I oh my God, that freaked me out. I was like, God, that's so true. How horrifying. And it happens. It does happen. You know, they get a charge out of this shit. These are sick, ill people, clearly. I don't know. It's just a bad thing. It's so. I think I feel like maybe what the dad is doing is really just trying to put some pressure on him. Like, listen, we've been behaving, we've been doing what you asked, but it's not working. Hopefully. Of course, they've come out and said they didn't tell the parents anything. But I don't think the dad's just making shit up out of his ass. I don't think so. That wouldn't help anything. You know what? You were so right, Texas. See, I think the exact same way, because also, if you recall, in the very, very beginning of this, that mayor came out with some shit all on his own. He immediately came out and said it was a crime of passion. And so every time anybody tried to get, where is that coming from? It only had come from the mayor, and then he had to walk it back. But it's like they immediately, before they knew anything, immediately wanted to act like this is not a random thing. It's not, and I don't think it was random. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But before they knew shit, they were saying that the mayor didn't know it for damn sure. Because even since then, nobody has said crime of passion. No, they're 100% worried about the university. That would piss me off. He did, like as if he knew. No, no, the tracksuit guy, Top Hats, is the president of the university. Mayor's another dumbass. Yeah, the mayor, like day one, just came right out and said crime of passion. Everybody was like, wait, what? We haven't heard that. No, that tracksuit guy is that's the only reason I know that it's a different press conference. Because they say the exact same things, but it's whether the president of the university is in a tracksuit or not. That's about how I end up knowing it's not, because I start thinking I'm pretty sure that maybe I'm just somehow watching the old press conference. Oh, it's a girl. Yeah, Dylan is a girl. Oh my God. No, they were both girls. It's Dylan and Bethany, both girls. That's kind of funny. That's good stuff. Buffalo Mountain. Where are you at? Are you in Wyoming or Montana? Where are you? I'm not asking for your actual address or anything. I feel like you must be in that area somewhere. Tennessee. Oh wow. Okay. I heard today that TBI is taking over the Summer Wells case. So that low life piece of shit sheriff won't be in charge of it anymore. Oh wow. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Top Hats. It's good to see you as always. I appreciate you very, very much. Have a good night. Buffalo Mountain is near me. Oh, okay, Buffalo Mountain. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Right, does she not? Did you hear that too, that TBI is taking that over? That's a good thing, I think. I mean, if somebody doesn't, that's just an absolute disaster. Complete disaster. Somebody needs to be in jail. And I'm pretty sure that somebody's name is Don Wells and Candace Bly. But who am I? Yeah, I'm so glad too. Yeah, I think you're right, Alec. They do. They want to sweep it under the rug. That's not going to work. How can you sweep this under the rug? You can't. This is what's so silly. You may not want there to be posters up. You may not want this, but everybody in the world knows about this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They should have had it all along, but it is about time. It's ridiculous that who knows what anybody can get out of it now, other than you can't believe a damn word that comes out of those people's mouth. Not one. I mean, the day I believe that Candace and Grandis were planning shit, that's crap. That was a load of garbage. And she looked for what, 2 minutes, and then called. No. Their story doesn't add up for a second. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear that. I'm very happy about that one. Oh yeah, they do. They do. Their part, they did something. They absolutely did something. I hope that the boys are doing well wherever they're at. I think that, it's the same thing I say about Quentin. This can't all be for nothing. Quentin has to have, at least saved his siblings, and the same with Summer. This shit can't be for nothing. And, you know, clearly they needed to be taken away from Dawn and Kansas. But, you know, I worry about where are they? Are they in a good place now? It's very possible they're in a wonderful place. But, you know, I worry about that kind of stuff. You can't get much worse than that. Nonsense there for sure. Yeah, that sheriff is something else. I don't think his son had anything to do with it. I don't know. But that sure as hell is not, that's not, the TBI needs to take over that case too. They're not together. Oh, that's kind of sad. Do you guys get to hear though, like being there, do you know anything about it? Like, is it going well for them? Because gosh, I hope so. I sure hope so. Did you respond?
Shark what?
Did you respond?
No.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Sharky doo 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 doo. Shark doo 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 doo. Sharky doo 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 doo.
Well, I hate to cut this short, guys, but I really need to chat with Mr. Snotty. He has some big news here, and I really need to talk to him about it. I went by there in a while. Oh, wow. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I worry a lot about that. You know, they could possibly get into good homes, though. I mean, that can happen. We know for sure. Oh, yes, we have 7 grandkids, and I keep my 1-year-old grandson. So yeah, we have a shark out here that just randomly starts singing every once in a while. Yeah, we do. That's funny. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know, it doesn't have, they're not always going to be good foster homes. You know, as a rule, you know, in this, oh, my Lanta. Hold on. This.
Sorry.
Yeah, the queen over here. When she's ready to come in, she means right now, don't dick around with her for a second because she's not having it. What a brat. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that it's very possible for it to be, it can't be worse. It can be, I'm sure, but they being with them is not good. And you know, I know that a lot of foster homes aren't great, but a lot of them, you know, are very good. I know some of them are very good. Okay. Good night, Frazzle. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to end it, guys. I need to converse with Mr. Snotty. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry to cut it short, but and all of you new people, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you more than you know. You can't imagine how awesome it is that you would spend time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you will come back. We will have something all new tomorrow to talk about. But thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. He did not win the lottery, but something really huge happened. As soon as he gives me the green light, I'm going to tell you guys. Believe me, I am. Just know it's really, really awesome. Very well deserved. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Thank you so much. Yes, it's awesome.